so I gotta like super duper lower the volume on this. If I don't, I'm gonna get copyright claimed. So. Ooh. They're Genestealers. They've come for your blue jeans. Or your trousers. Strike first. Find out more.
So, some brand new Genestealers. So,
Yay!
very, very cool. Genestealers, obviously, an absolutely iconic part of Warhammer 40,000 lore. Alex, you know all about Genestealers. What are these guys about?
Yeah, so these guys, as you said, they've been around for ages. In fact, they were possibly one of the first things that the Imperium encountered for the...
So I'm just looking at the new models, soaking it all in. These models are a lot better than the old models. The old models are kind of short and stunty.
The High Fleets.
I like the longer limbs.
Where they assumed that these were sort of like native inhabitants. But then they've featured on Tyran, they've basically featured in every High Fleet that's come along since, and they're possibly the most, I wouldn't necessarily say common, but
most widespread.
Yes, yeah. Because you'll often get them, say, hiding away on transport ships. They'll be buried under a hive where they're just awaiting the day of ascension with the cult. Or there'll be, say, a whole colony of them on a Space Hulk. So these guys could be anywhere, and they probably are everywhere.
Yeah, so if you're in the 41st millennium, you're probably never more than about 20 meters from a Genestealer.
That's true.
That's not what I would say for imperial reasons, but quite possibly.
Yeah. But this is a really exciting kit for a bunch of reasons. One of them is that it's great every time we see like a really classic kit reimagined. These are really cool dynamic miniatures. It's a long time coming for a new multi-part Genestealer kit. Obviously, you can use these in a few ways. You can absolutely put them straight into your Tyranid army as
I wonder if I really hope they're coming out with a new Space Hulk with these new models. I hope so. I pray so.
Genestealers. I'm quite sure that a lot of Genestealer cult players like myself will also be eyeing these up for pure strain Genestealers because they fit perfectly well into a Genestealer cult's force. There's a few things worth calling out about the kit itself, aren't there?
Yes.
So I think we've got some close-ups in the next picture, so we can talk about some
That's
of the
pure
options,
strain right there
which I
with
think for
the
most part are
Cthulhu
aesthetic,
tentacles.
Yes.
but still you can lean into and make this unit the one you want it to be.
Indeed. So you can see there in the top left the Imgal head with those little feeder tendrils, so that if there's any brain matter left, it can
Delicious brain.
See
Yummy
what's
brains.
going on. And I believe there is enough of those in the kit to make the entire set Imgal Genestealers.
So that's really cool.
Yeah.
So if you've got you particularly like that aesthetic,
Yes.
so either want them to look like first contact Genestealers from the moons of Imgal, or you've kind of lent into that kind of horrors from the deep kind of vibe for your Tyranids, and you've got lots of lictors and death leapers and stuff like that. Then you can lean quite heavily into that aesthetic and go for tentacle face.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then we've got down at the bottom here. So is this the proboscis that they can use to infect people?
I think it is, yeah. So that's the thing that's going to be implanting the eggs into the unfortunate hosts. Probably best not to think too much about exactly how that works and exactly what it means for the host. But yeah, unpleasant things happen to you basically.
Yes, very, very unpleasant.
Within a meter or so.
That's it. You've recruited for the cult, or the... yeah, somebody in the chat has just called it the ovipositor.
That is indeed the correct name. Yes. The place that eggs come from. So a few colour schemes on there as well. Obviously, Genestealers have their kind of normal, very recognisable purple and blue palette, which is the one
I like that one
left
a lot.
there. That is the one they tend towards when they're left kind of out in Space Hulks and things by themselves, which is quite kind of ties in quite nicely to the Leviathan colour scheme. But you can also paint them obviously in line with whatever High Fleet you've got. So if you've got High Fleet Kraken, as you can see there on the right, they look perfectly cool running around in carapace, bone and red, or whatever other colour palette you've got your High Fleet.
I love the dynamism of these, as you said, because these are obviously like an update of an old kit that, yeah, it had some great running kind of poses to it, but these now, you can imagine them running through like a Space Hulk corridor or a ship coming, bursting.
They're coming to give you hugs.
There's a couple of them that are, say, jumping off pipes or walls, that kind of thing. This really does feel like these guys, and you can see there on the right, that they're coming straight for you.
Yeah, I like the elongated arms they've got as well. So I think if you look at the length of the talons and the length of the arms compared to maybe some of the older Genestealers
Yeah,
you've got, they seem more alien and more weird.
Yes.
So they've got that kind of...
That's what I was saying. I like the longer arms because the other arms just kind of felt. The older models, they're still cool models, but just the arms felt weird because these guys are supposed to be able to cut open Terminator armor like it's a can of soup, and their claws are can openers. So
weird Tyrannid arm, and then they've got their much more human-looking digits that you can imagine opening doors and things. So they're just like absolutely horrible, terrifying monsters from space. But I'm absolutely going to get a bunch of them and put them on my armies, so it's going to be great. Right, so that's one unit. That was cool. It's nice to see some new Genestealers.
Yeah.
That's tick one off the nostalgia list for Tyrannids. I think there might be a few more things on the way. Let's have a look at the next